Matt, just what did you think of the offensive flow that you had tonight? You know, both working inside out and getting those 3-pointers early to get things started.
Well, I think, you know, it was no different than how some of the other teams had played us. And then we had some struggles. You know, you take some good shots. The thing that was different is we didn't turn the ball over very much. So we gave ourselves more opportunities and were able to knock down shots. But a lot of people have played us to kind of prove the three and take away the interior. I thought these guys were no different, even though we got the ball inside. And we're able to score some.
Matt, you kind of alluded to it with the turnovers, but only 9 tonight. I know I think your target you told us was 8.
Yeah.
And you had a lot of it. It seems like most of those were early in the game, and then it settled down, and it was just reflected in the way you played down the stretch. Much better from that standpoint, and how much did you emphasize that the last 2 days?
Yeah, well, we've emphasized it the whole season. Like it's given us problems for a while now, and so I thought, you know, my target's 8. That also would be the best in the country if we got it on average. But no, I thought our guys, and it's going to depend on how people play you. But you know, still we've had people not pressure us and zone us, and we still turned it over. You know, I think more than the turnovers for us is just being able to concentrate and not having those unforced errors. You know, not having the illegal post ups or the 3-second calls or just the things that the defense have nothing to do with. Those are the ones I think that are frustrating. And tonight we didn't have very many of those types of turnovers.
Matt, you gave Carson his first start of his career. What went into that decision, and then how do you feel you dealt with that opportunity?
Yeah, you know, a lot of different things. You make a change as the coach. You know, to kind of change the starting lineup a little bit. I thought he gave us some quickness out there on both ends of the court. I thought he's played well enough to start, and I thought he gives us just a compliment of a guy that can drive the basketball and also shoot the basketball, but also guard quickness on the other team. You know, a lot of times when someone will have that second quick guard, that's given us some trouble in terms of containing the dribble. So when you got to make moves like that, especially like Vince Edwards has been, he's been great for us, in his career, but he's gotten off to a little bit of a slow start. So you hope it helps your team. You hope it helps the guy that subs in, but you also hope it helps the guy that now comes off the bench. Vince still played a lot in the game. He's going to continue to play a lot for us, no matter if he starts or he doesn't. The same with Carson. I thought it was good across the board because we got a pretty good start, not a great start, but overall, everybody played well, and we got a good team win.
Matt, do you anticipate this just being a one-game deal for Spike, or is this?
No. I think he's going to be out a while. Right now, he's out indefinitely, and we'll just kind of play it by ear. I don't see him playing in the next game.
Was it when he collided with Biggie a couple games ago?
It's when in Georgia State, when him and Hollowell landed on him. And so that was when it happened.
But it's, as far as you know, it's not like a surgical deal or anything like that.
Not to my knowledge. I don't really know. I know he's out indefinitely.
So who's your backup point guard now?
Carson. Yeah.
Just on the injury front, Matt, anything with Isaac? I know he came back in. Is that he's going to be fine?
Oh, I didn't know he was injured.
He went to the.
I'm on top of it, Stacy. What happened?
He went to the locker room. He took a tumble. A couple players fell.
Oh, did he? Yeah, I was watching the game. I didn't know that. Then he didn't say anything, or the trainer didn't say anything, so I would think he's all right.
Man, obviously, when they're playing a zone, you want your guys to move the ball pretty well. Were you just happy with, kind of the flow of the offense and the guys sharing the ball?
Well, I think they felt like they couldn't do what they normally do on the defensive end, which is a switching man-to-man.
Mm-hmm.
They switch 5 ways. And so they went to a zone, which they do probably, 15 to 20% of the time, but it's not their main zone. I think they felt they had to with our size to play us that way. And they we got some pretty good open looks, and and so it was good that we moved the basketball and we flowed, but it was also I think their matchup and their zone, like Georgia State, it's what Georgia State does. You know what I mean? And they did a really good job with that. I thought NJIT, it really wasn't their zone, but then we missed open shots. And so we made it a little bit better than it actually was. I thought Georgia State's had a really good matchup. So we got into a flow because we made shots, we moved the ball, we had good inside-outside balance. And, but you know, it all looks better when it goes in. I mean, it just does.
You talked a little bit about Vince struggling. Is that just mental for Vince right now? Is it? Do you even know? You know, obviously you don't know exactly why he's struggling, but
Yeah.
it's obvious that the whole
Right.
year he's been a little off.
Right. Well, you know, I think trying to get when you get a young player or a new player to play well, to get going, you know, you don't have that reference. You know, with him, you have reference. He's been a really good player for us, and so you've seen his consistency through the year and just being able to do all the intangibles and do the little things for our team and our program. Like his numbers are really good in his career. You know, he does a little bit of everything, you know, for us. So when you see a guy struggle like that, you know, you've watched him be so successful and you want him to be successful. And then instead of just kind of taking a step back, you know, I think people press a little bit. You know, you want it, you know, you want to be successful. You want to make that next step as a player. And, you know, he's done some, you know, really good things for us. So hopefully this obviously helps our team, because that's why you do things and make changes. You do it to help your team, but you also want the individuals that are, you know, because this is something that, you know, we could stick with. This is something that, you know, we could move around. So nothing's really guaranteed. You know, we obviously have 8 guys right now that are healthy, that are scholarship players, and all 8 of those guys are going to play. You know, to what amount, or you know, whatever, kind of depends on how people are playing. But I think you got to get a good start and, you know, have that good game, and then build off it. I think a lot of people equate their success on how they shoot. You know, it's just how you are as a player. But you know, tonight, you know, he gets 8 assists. You know, pretty good in 23 minutes. And then just that stat of moving the basketball helps your team, especially when everybody else is shooting the basketball so well. So, you know, I think he will be fine. I think, you know, our team, there's always going to be some moments in a season where, you know, you're searching a little bit. Sometimes you make the right call, sometimes you don't, you know, and then you adjust again. You know, that's part of coaching. But he's just got to, you know, just continue to work and continue to get better and keep doing all the little things. You know, people that are successful, you know, always prepare. You know, whether they face adversity or they face success, you know, successful people, you know, you just keep preparing and doing everything in your power to help yourself and your team.
I don't know how much you dove into them yet, but do you know anything about Arizona State?
I do not.
Andrew, last one.
Coach, how can this game help you assess your team's mental toughness? I know that was a major point we talked about against
Right.
Louisville. How can this game, and obviously crush them, but how can this help you evaluate?
Well, I think it's a good sign that you bounce back after a loss and you play well. But being on the road and being tested, or being in a neutral environment, or getting into a close game, I think that kind of tests you more than a game of this nature, especially when you get off to a good start. You know, if we'd have struggled like shooting the basketball again, you know, we'd have turned the ball over more. You know, those type of things where it kind of went our way. And so a lot of times when it goes your way, you don't get the ultimate test. It's good, you'd rather have this as a coach. But then you want to be able to kind of see, like other night, shots didn't go in for us. You know, we have to be able to beat good people when our shots don't go down. That's a sign of a really good team. You know, you got to be able to defend, take care of the basketball, rebound, you know, do all the other little things when things don't go your way. So I think that'll be a real test for us mentally. You know, I think Tuesday's a great test, you know, for a mental toughness standpoint, because it's not a road game, but it's a neutral game. It's a different setting, different environment. You know, can we keep our focus and go out there and play to our strengths and, you know, and beat Arizona State?
Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.